Hi, this is Nana Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 2nd, 2021. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we will continue to see a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms across the northern part of the Great Basin into Sunday. We will also see areas of wetter showers and thunderstorms, and those will be across the areas on the map with the green dots. Over the past 24 hours, there has been quite a bit of lightning in the Great Basin. You can see the map on the right. The areas that saw the most lightning were really the northern two-thirds of Nevada, southwestern Utah, the Arizona Strip, and much of Idaho and western Wyoming. So really widespread lightning yesterday. The good news was that this lightning was mostly wet. However, despite the wetter nature of these storms, there were still quite a few new starts. And looking back at the past 72 hours, it's interesting to get some perspective on just how much lightning there has been over the area over the past 3 days. Really, the only portion of the Great Basin that hasn't seen significant lightning is northwest Utah and the northwestern corner of Nevada. But elsewhere, there's really been a very impressive amount of lightning across the area. Again, the majority of these storms were wet, but there is a concern with upcoming warmer and drier weather next week that there's a potential for holdovers to emerge. Looking at the fire activity map, you can see there are quite a few red dots on there. Those are the new fires in the past 24 hours. So with that lightning, despite the storms being wet, we still did see some new starts. Looking at observed precipitation over the past 7 and 14 days, the wetter pattern that we've been in has definitely helped out portions of the Great Basin, much of eastern Utah, and central and southern Nevada and the Arizona Strip have seen a good amount of precipitation from these storms. In addition to that, the higher relative humidities across the eastern and southeastern part of the areas has really helped with the fuels. Further north, northwest, conditions have been much drier, and you can see there are portions of Idaho and northern Nevada that have not received any precipitation in the past 7 or 14 days. Looking at 10-hour fuel moistures with the higher humidities and the precipitation that we saw across central and southeastern Utah, you can see those 10-hour fuel moistures have really come up there quite significantly. However, we are looking at the driest conditions across portions of western, southern Nevada, and southwestern Idaho. ERCs are generally trending downward, especially across the eastern part of the Great Basin, where we have seen those wetter conditions. Looking at things continuing to rise across the north, not quite as fast, but we are coming out of a period of record heat, still quite hot up there, and so those ERCs have increased quite dramatically across the northern part of the area. Looking at the ERC trend lines across GB14 and GB8, again, a really rapid rise with the record heat of the past week or so. Satellite this morning shows some of that moisture across the Great Basin. With that moisture in place, we are expecting another day of those showers and thunderstorms. Today, no high risk on the map. After a few days of mostly wet storms, we don't have anything highlighted there, but there will be widespread lightning again today, most of it wet, but the potential for a few drier storms to be mixed in. Looking at today in more detail, the highest relative humidities will be across the northeastern part of the Great Basin. The image on the right is showing this afternoon's lightning forecast, and you can see really widespread lightning is expected across the northern part of the Great Basin. As we move into Saturday, we still keep moisture in place across the Great Basin. All of the zones either yellow or green due to higher humidities and mostly wet thunderstorms. Looking at Saturday in more detail, relative humidities will be lowest across portions of Nevada and into western Utah. And looking at another day of lightning mainly across the northern part of the Great Basin. And again, these will be a mix of wet and dry storms. And as we move into Sunday, looking at that moisture shifting north, still those PSAs all either yellow or green. And if we look at Sunday in more detail, again, relative humidities, minimum relative humidities right around 15 to 20% across much of the area. Looking at another day of lightning on Sunday across much of the area. And you can see the areas expected to receive lightning on that forecast lightning map on the right. Also on Sunday, we could start to see some breezy winds across southern Nevada and southwestern Utah. Over the next 3 days, we will see spotty precipitation accumulation. Some of the higher totals are just in that quarter-inch to half-inch range, and that's across northern Nevada and portions of Idaho and northeastern Utah. Moving into Monday, looking at high pressure building across the area with the warming and drying trend expected to begin Monday and really strengthen through the middle of next week. You can see that drier air moving into the southwestern part of the Great Basin. So moving to Tuesday, with that high pressure strengthening, we will see warming and drying conditions. Then on Wednesday, it does look like there is a potential for some moisture to start increasing across the south. And on Thursday, looking at the potential for some moisture to make its way into the Great Basin again. Looking at precipitation accumulation over the next 7 days, really not much additional expected beyond the 3-day period. And finally, in the 8 to 14 day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across the entire Great Basin. As far as precipitation, that above normal area across the southwest is inching a little closer to Utah, hinting at the potential for a return of monsoonal moisture towards the middle of July. And that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.